Hello and welcome back to my canal. So if you want to go in a canal, I have a woody today. Why not? Even if I'm the plastic surgeon, sometimes instead of using plastic, we use old style wood. And this is a Victory, HMS Victory, which I actually visited. But let's introduce the channel and let's get on with it. So HMS Victory, battleship. That was the ship of Horatio Nelson, on which he won Trafalgar Battle, so many years ago. Well, it's like a museum. You can visit it if you go to Portsmouth at the the Royal Naval shipyard, or whatever it's called. They have the HMS Victory. This is already all cut up, laser cut into wood, and we're gonna build it. And hopefully, it's gonna be a very easy build. I mean, it's probably I'm gonna use a CA glue because it's faster on wood. I bought this CA wood welding glue, high strength, AliExpress, paying basically nothing for it. More than probably I bought it like a year ago, but it's time to do it. It's a 1 to 200 side. Let's see what's gonna happen. It's gonna be all good till the point where you get to building the mast and the rigs and all the cables and things. Everything is gonna fall apart. So let's open it, see what's inside. Of course, I need to be careful not to mix my other woodies with this woody, because then it's gonna be. Would you do it? Would you build it properly with the wrong woody? What don't I don't know. These are more. It looks like it needs to be protected. We keep it there. Oh, you go. All the railings, anchors, cages, what's it called? Crow's nests, cannons, and the stand. Some beams, the wheel. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. Hopefully. Oh, we got some sail as well. So I'm gonna put the sail straight away on the side because I don't need it now. I'm gonna put the rigging. How's it going now? Rig the rig. There was a little spool of cables in here. It vanished. Oh no, it's inside there. Nice and safe. So let's put this away. So we don't make it more bad and more dirty than it already is. That on the side. Let's have a look. How do you call this one? You don't call them screws. How are you gonna call them? I don't want to get the pieces up because then it's gonna be a mess. I mean, they're numbered anyway, so it's gonna be easy to find them. But yeah, they're more messy. It's gonna get very messy. So just flip them over. Sure. Probably that's for the side or for the deck. Wooden deck. As they call it in Australia, wooden deck. Someone comes and plays on your wooden deck. You need to put some coconut after drinking some Dickens cider. As an old joke, just look up the adverts there on YouTube. Oh no, that's the side bits. So yeah, it's gonna be for the piece on the deck. Well, oh no, the deck is done already. We'll see, but that's okay. That's interesting. It's gonna be an easy build, I hope. But yeah, looking forward to it. Really looking forward to it. Okay. Let's see what happens. So let's pause it here. I see what's the first piece that we need to do and get it done. Alright, to report that the wood smells nice. I don't know what sort of wood is this. Probably wood from a vegetable tree, not wood from plastic like we used to. But yeah, what they say straight away, use this, which is the main, the spine. I'm not very good in nautical terms, but I would say this is the main axis of the boat, and then 25, 26 and 27 to put at the back. So let's do that straight away. Pieces are separating very easily. There's no fear of any shattering or nothing. What I'm gonna do, if it's stable enough, I'm gonna put them on and then give it some gluing up at the end once they've been connected already. But this is the piece that's gonna go wrong. Okay, we know that already. I should have done. I should have removed it. Okay, it came out. Yeah, I managed to break it. Piece number 1, I mean piece number 27, but the first one I'm gonna put. No, I didn't break it yet. So 25, 26, 27, 27 first. So I could have put the numbers in the other order. Let's see how tight the fit is. Okay, it's a bit wobbly, which is good in a way because you can put them in without bending them. On the other side, it won't hold. So I'm gonna do, for when it's possible, put the numbers facing down, if that's a system, or inwards. Just so it should be like that. Maybe once I put a piece at the back, it's gonna hold them in place. So we're starting big time right here. Wow. 1, 3. Okay, 1, 2. Okay, so 1, and then put all the ones at the back. So I would say let's put this one here to fix this one here, which is the 1/2. How do you dare calling someone 1/2? 5, 4, 14. 3, 5, 4, 7, 2. That's 1/2 is this one here. So 1/2 facing the inside. You see exactly what I mean? That these things are not very stable if you don't glue them in. So hopefully once I insert this sort of a thing here, I was expecting it to go a tiny bit more down. No, okay, that goes in there. So, and once I've done that, that keeps this one secure, I'm gonna proceed and do these ones at the back. 23 and 24. 23 and 24, which is 20, 23, we got it. 23, the top one. 24 being the bottom one. Okay, in this case I'm going to put a number on the inside so it doesn't show from the bottom. So like that, because it won't show any other way. And would this be stable enough to grant some gluing? Yeah, at this point we can do some gluing now that we got these things in. So let's see this glue from AliExpress, if it's any good. I'm using this one just because of the drying times. If I put this on the side, everything is going to fall off now. And drying time, if I use normal PA glue, it's going to take forever to dry up. While this one, hopefully, a couple of seconds. I don't know what sort of gap tolerance I'm supposed to do, because this one, okay, that's better. So let's do that first. Just put a drop in there, drop in there, and then we can squeeze this one back in. I remember I did many years ago. I'm talking about possibly, well, definitely more than 30 years ago. I did Da Vinci sort of a plain kind of plain thing, and it was very similar. Probably one of the first wooden laser cut panels. I was probably 12, 13 back then, and this one seems to be same principle, but technology of course has gone forward, and it's gonna be easier. Instruction gonna be better, technology is gonna be better. Unless I want to put them all sideways. I want to keep them straight if I can, which is like that, but then probably I will have to use PA glue at some point, but hey, let's see. I had the joke the other day. It was like, my dad, he died. Say, oh, what happened? I was being taken away by the big sea. Oh, cancer? No, like the ocean. Which maybe you heard it before. Maybe it's not funny for you. The first time I heard it, I thought it was well, different, I would say. So we got there, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way, all the spines up to down there. So I don't know if the best course of action is to do probably with the glue, is that it's gonna leave marks. If I do like that, I start doing 2 and then 3. That's it. Careful not to break the top. What I should tell you to do when you do these things, build the base first, and then you have somewhere to rest your thing. But hey, I just don't want to do any damages. So 7. Why 7? I was doing number 2. What happened to number 2? So let's leave it here then. I thought we had number 2, this one here. So I was sitting at the bottom. So okay, number 2. These ones are all gonna. Okay, number 2 down there. It's gonna be number 1. Number 1 first, and then number 2, of course. It's all a matter of finding number 1. If you go number 4, 5, let's look at the detached ones first of all. you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna remove all of them and then put them in order, one after the other, and then put them on. So here it is. That's all the rib sections from number 1 to number 20 in order. I cleaned a little bit at the top. Two of them, this bit here was cracked, namely number 7 and number 16. So, but I put some bit of glue on it and went back to normal. So let's just proceed in order. Number 1. I'm supposed to go straight forward. 2, 3. I don't know, but it feels like preparing a very nice cup of ice cream, where you put your biscuits in the ice cream. Do they do that anymore? I mean, do people go to ice cream parlors anymore? We've been told the sugar is bad, ice is bad, cream is bad, parlors are bad, and the prices are mad anyway. So this is not going any further. Why? I cleaned it. Oh, okay, but still a little bit. I thought I cleaned it, but I left a tiny bit of a thing in between. There you go. 9, 10, which means halfway there. Ice cream is melting. 11, 12, 13, unlucky for, yes, you don't mention bad luck on a ship ever, especially on a ship named Victory. I guess if you do a victory lap, well, this will do a victory regatta probably. See? 17. 18, 19 and 20. Put it backwards towards that with the number inside. There we are. Ta-da! That took literally 2 minutes. So okay, I'm gonna put some glue and fix it, put them straight, put some glue and fix it up. Any way to keep this standing? I'm sure we can come up with something, little more support. That's it. And now put them all on. They're not very stable. I'm still going to put some PA glue from the bottom, and then these are at least to keep them straight. Some of them don't really come straight. That's as much as you can do. This one was broken at the top, and the other two were fixed. That one collapsed a little bit, and if I try to put it too straight, it's going to flip. So hopefully it's going to work out good at the end. Also I did number 21, which is this one here, both sides, this little rib, and then I'm going to add number 22 either side, and then glue the bottom with a PA glue. Actually, what they want me to do, they want me to open this right away and take off this number 33 to go in the middle here, which may help with the straightening the bits. So I'm gonna put it on. If that's the case, I'm gonna glue that first and then the other PA glue at the bottom. It's very disappointing to see that this piece number 33 that goes at the top of the ribs, by the way, the other one is called the keel. I remember now, keeling was a form of torture, punishment preferred during private times. They were strapping you to a rope and just going under the boat, scratching yourself against the barnacles on the bottom of the ship, and not many people were surviving. It was like a death penalty, you know, killing. But yeah, that's the kill. But what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna just do little cuts there, so we know where we're supposed to make dents for this thing. Of course it's not gonna be perfect, nobody's perfect, but hey, I'll give it a bloody try. That doesn't help the middle bit there that's moving, the glue sort of with the vibration got disconnected, but that's why I definitely want to put some PA at the bottom. No, I'm definitely not good with the left hand. And that's why I got carpal syndrome on my right one. It's like any good boy, I rather use the right hand than the left one. Okay, we got enough? Yeah, we got enough. We can work on it. We can work on it and cut a little bit off. We do that. With this wood is very thin. Well, what is it? MDF. This one is like a probably 1.5 millimeters, and this one is actually less. It's probably 1 millimeter. So when I try to cut in, then little splinter came off. So I'm gonna try to do a notch on this side as well. But yeah, the moment that then you try cutting the little bit away, a little bit in the middle, it's sort of you can splinter and fall out. So if I knew I would have been a wooden surgeon, what is it, tree surgeon? Actually, there do exist tree surgeons. Which is not like a 1, 2, 3. It's like a someone that's that is basically a landscape decorator. But yeah, the name themselves, tree surgeon. Well, why not? If I'm a plastic surgeon with a K, with a special K, they can be tree surgeon. And here it is. So we done that. Squeeze it in, little bit of woodworking, but hey, nowadays these are unmovable. They're definitely not moving. Would have been nice to have something similar on the other ones, but they're already so fiddly. This thing is so brittle there. Maybe it's best they didn't. So as I say, let me put these two at the front, and then I'm gonna flip it over and put the glue at the bottom. Actually, the glue came with this tiny applicator, which I thought was a gimmick, because normally this applicator get stuck, they get dry, and you throw them away after 2 seconds. But it must be made some plastic that doesn't bond to this glue, because it goes fine. I can just reach the inside of the ribs and just leave a tiny portion of glue in the where it's needed, and that works for me. I'm happy with it. So yeah, probably there's no need for the PVA glue. See, it's still coming. I'll just press a bit, and there's a little drip at the bottom. So way. At least I reinforce it a little bit, and then we see. And it works beauty from the bottom as well. Very easy to just reattach all the ribs here. It is a bit fiddly to put it on, and I need to remove it before finishing the session and put the normal cap back on. But I would say, yeah, that's the future. Now I'm gonna paint with a brush these two panels with a nice dirty yellow, which I made a mix of yellow ochre and medium yellow, half and half, and loads of water. And there's some bits that needed to be painted in black afterwards, like this one's this one is gonna be yellow, this in black, but black I can paint it on top of the yellow, so I'm just gonna paint everything in yellow. Let's see what it looks like. Yeah, maybe we could have done even a tiny bit stronger. Let's see. No, maybe it's okay, just dirty, all dirty yellow. Let's see how it goes. I'm gonna paint all of it. The wood is so thin that painting it and getting it wet is sort of bubbled up a bit, it warped a bit, so I had to paint the reverse side as well, just to counterbalance it. And it's not dry, but a little bit damp. I'm gonna put it under weight, just under a pan, a big pan, to put some pressure on it and make it dry flat. In the meantime, I'm gonna attach the four supports under the galley here. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Wise 28, 29, 30, and 31. Managed to insert these pieces of wood under the galley. I recommend cutting a little bit off from here, make it like that, and this one make it like that, so you can slide it in. It would have been easy to put it at the very start, but these instructions are really backwards. It's funny, if you follow the instruction, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. But before doing 5, you should prepare the single decks on their own and assemble them. And before doing that, you need to do the single cannons and grates and anchors and stuff. So yeah, step by step, as long as you don't follow the steps. And I've been painting all the bits I need to be painted, apart from these two lines here, black, this and this, two fascias here, because the black I can do at any point on top of the other colors anyway. I didn't want to break down the wooden sprue, or I still don't know how you call it, and I didn't want to break it down and then maybe lose the numbers, so I just left it as it is. This one's here I made it red because it just makes sense. In war, it's gonna be ports here, red for the like a warning, and then the ones that go inside, 1 and 2, white, that you can see on the second floor, second deck, and these on the poop deck, all white as well, just because it's the commander, it's not going to fall down there. Cannons, there's a gunmetal, and I've done the ports for the cannons. The inside red with a little handle, and the outside is like black, but less black than the black is going to be here, just to show the little bit of the texture in it. I even put a tiny bit of 2 lines. They're supposed to be the ropes to put them up. And then here, all straightforward, all this wooden, 2 different sorts of wooden. That's for the bottom of the cannons. That's the other bits, same as this one. And then the windows, I'm gonna try and melt some, if I receive it shortly, I'm gonna melt some resin in it. This I could do, it should be the other way around, dark with a white coloring or golden, but it's gonna it's gonna get too messy. I'm gonna lose too much details. So even if it's wrong, I'm gonna leave it like that, yellow with the black coloring. And then just the anchors. These are in. I know this is gunmetal. This is actually metallic black. So yeah, black, metallic black, and black gunmetal that goes on top of this one, and metallic black for the cannons. And then these at the back. Perfect. I'll close the detail just in case you want to see a better detail of the windows or the door latches, doors. Now I'm supposed to put this one inside here. I try slide it in, it doesn't fit all the way, and then it's gonna be a problem to put the front anyway. So I'm gonna need to cut the corners here, slide it from one side and then glue it back again, and then probably do the rest. Do the same for the second deck, the middle deck, to go at the top bit, which is a bit of a nuisance, but that's what you're going to need to do. That's what you're going to do. And here it is. So I glued it back on the places where I cut. Hopefully when I snap the ones at the top, these ones here, it won't come off again, but this is all nice and stable. Funny thing, there's these two cuts on the side, all around the side. I think it's supposed to be for some support beam, which probably they use the same design for different scales. This is 1 or 200, then you have 1 or 150, and possibly even bigger, and maybe on them ones you go something to insert over there. But as it is now, I don't see anything that goes in there, so I'm happy with the result. Now I can proceed and carry on with the other bits. And we are lucky, the back bit doesn't need to go in between any ribs, so I can just slide it in like that. It's a bit tight, but we're gonna manage. And I started attaching some details, like the stairs. There were two extra stairs, set of stairs, which in theory they should be here and here, but with also platform, which is now contemplated here. Is now so what I'm gonna do, I'll put the stair in there, inside there, and then see, maybe I'm gonna put the stair at the end over here. I also the how do you call it, the steering wheel, I don't know the name in English, of the commanding wheel, the yoke, I don't know. On the instruction they put only single. I put it double just because I got two, and just because on the real one is double with a cable in between that runs down to the proper mechanism. Now I'm gonna put these bits at the front. I'm happy to see that the glue doesn't get absorbed completely, it shines a little bit, so I need to be more careful and precise in putting my glue, so it's gonna look better. On the instructions, they wanted to attach this anchor support on the inside, but it makes more sense to put them on the outside. And also I'm gonna put this one at the front, and then there's gonna be a tiny little gap here, which I'm gonna fill eventually. Also, because the holes in the rigs are lined up with the columns, instead of putting them like that with the holes up and down, I'm gonna put the holes sideways, so it's gonna be easier to thread through them and put the cables in. After I put all the other bits, I just need to see if I want to put the ladder on this side or on this side. The main problem is that you have cannons here, so I'm gonna build the cannons first to see how much space they take, because if not, I'm gonna put the ladder right in the middle, because in theory on the real one you have the steering rudder thingy under this ledge here, and there's no space for stairs, and the stairs are both either side, but on this one I might put it over there. Also I got 16 cannons. 4 are gonna be at the top, and I think I'm gonna do these 4 in the middle here. They're easy to reach into place instead of the ones at the back. We'll see how it goes, and then we come up with something. And here are all the cannons put on the base. Now I'm supposed to add these little wheels to it. They're microscopic. I'm gonna try to do one if it's worth it. If not, I'm just gonna paint these round bits. They're already pre-marked anyway in black, and see how it goes. Top part of the ship needs to be painted in black, so just a tiny bit of black with I masked it, tiny bit of black with a brush. I tried with marker, but the marker sort of seeps through the wood, get absorbed, so hopefully this is gonna be the way forward. Not too dark, because I still want to be able to see the wood panels underneath, so that should be okay. I'm gonna paint in black the bands in between the yellow ones, and to do that I'm gonna remove the yellow ones, so I cut the little nibs where the wood is connected, top and bottom, and then I'm gonna remove these ones and just paint the black bits. Hopefully removing the masking tape, it's gonna be nice and neat underneath. Yeah, great, stunning, absolutely stunning. To this side, yeah, the trick is, first of all, use a good masking tape. This is the one from Display. I bought a new one, 20mm, with a new dispenser. If you see my video how to use this dispenser, how to fit up to 3 different rolls in there, 3 different sizes, check my short. But yeah, look at this, wonderful. And now I've touched number 43, which is this little black board in here on both sides. I touched the back first up to here, and then when I go here I made it wet with a drop of water, let it stay for 20 minutes to absorb so I could bend it, and then I glued it in. And both sides up in the front. Now to fit the blue doors at the front, I had to cut a little bit at the corner, and now it fits perfectly in there, so I'm gonna glue it up. Now to bend the other pieces of wood that go around the front, I'm gonna leave them overnight soaking in water, and then I try to bend it tomorrow. So after 10 hours dipped in water, I bent these wooden sticks, and now I'm gonna put them in the dehydrator and dry them. Not too dry, because then it's gonna get too brittle, but I'm gonna give it probably 20 minutes or something, just so they're dry enough they can be glued on. I think I finally found a use for the largest version of this drill bit. Oh no, it's rotating sander. So as I did for the small ones, I'm gonna prepare 1 each of these tips, this time for the large head, because we do love a large head. That's it. That's one. I'm gonna do the other ones. Now I want to round up the edges of the ribs when they have a steep curve, so towards the end and the front. I did so that the planks, they're gonna adhere better. They're gonna have more surface and the curve is gonna be smoother. I did try to do this one by hand with the file. It is very unwieldy and it takes forever. So I'm gonna try with a 600 and see. Yeah, that looks promising. So that's what I'm gonna do. Okay. Well, that took me less than 10 minutes and I'm very happy with the results. I don't know, I'm pretty sure I said 600. I used the 400 just in case. So you have 4, 6, 8 and 1,000. But yeah, very happy and clean. Of course, you need to be extra careful when you get close to the rim. I think I nicked a little bit there, but a little bit of black marker is gonna disappear. Of course, next time I'm gonna do it beforehand. Once I put the ribs, I'm gonna put it straight away. But yeah, very happy with it. So we found a use for it. Happy days. All the window of the Colosseum have been placed. I'm very happy with it. On the front as well. So good. Now we need to do the planks at the bottom. I go two layers of planks, one and another one, same. I realized that this one is sort of more uniform when you curve it this way instead of curving it this way. I guess the way it's been burned by the laser. So I'm gonna keep this one as the outside bit. I'm just doing some black with a marker, just it's gonna be easier to paint later on and to remind myself which way should be on the outside. And then once I painted this one, I colored this one in black. I'm gonna bend it a little bit. So we're finally back at the bench after the little holiday adventure we had in Hamburg. If you haven't checked my videos, you want to see a lot, 50,000 model ships, just check the videos about Hamburg, and you're gonna find 3 videos quite interesting. Anyway, I bought this thing because when I put these planks around the hole, even if I got them wet, I still found the tiny cracks. I want it to be smooth, I want it to look good. So this is gonna even if I wet them before bending them for 10 hours, still wasn't perfect. So hopefully with this thing here, I'm gonna make it better. I'm gonna just dampen a little bit, use the hot rod on it and bend them. So let's plug it in and see if it works. So I've been warming up the tool for about 5 minutes. I don't know if it's enough or not. I'm gonna try first on a coffee stirrer. I put them in water anyway because even if they don't need to be damp, but I mean like a soaking wet, it's better to have some water on the surface that is gonna produce steam and come inside, get inside the wood and bend it. There's different shapes. I'm gonna start from here and then try to do this one here. Let's see if it works. I feel the wood cracking. Probably is still a bit early. I need to give it another 5 minutes. It did bend, but I felt like the little crack noise that you get when it's not ready yet. So I'll give it another 5 minutes. So it's been another good 5 minutes. And actually I should have left this in the water, but doesn't really matter. Let's try it on the other side. Just bend it and just wet it temporarily, and yeah, it does bend easy. Let's see if we can do any other. Yeah, if I leave it still for too long, it sort of blackens it a bit. I can smell like a sort of a, not burning, but you know, the sort of a wooden smoked flavor. Let's see what happens in the tight spot. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I like it. And that's a bit of shreds. Probably I went too fast. But yeah, I will never need to do a bend this tight anyway. But yeah, we know what to do now, and we got a solution. So what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna use this bend here because it conforms pretty much perfectly at the front of the ship, and then for the back, probably here is gonna be covered by the galley, so it can be straight, and then if there's minor adjustments to be done, I'm gonna do it after, and just make sure I get the front right in the, I don't know if you need to go upwards or downwards, and then first time I do it, so try and error, and wish me good luck. So black part outside, right with this one here, and just push it in. It goes easily, straightforward. There was no drama, nothing. Maybe the bend is not perfect, but yeah, it should be what we're looking for. So let's see if I put it here. I can do a tiny bit more, but yeah, now we know what to do. Cool. So wet a little bit more and bend it a little bit more. Maybe that's even a bit too much, but we learn as we go. Yeah, that looks good to me. That looks extremely good to me. So I'm gonna do one by one, cut it in, do a cut here, make it flush, and attach it, and then do the next one. I tried to do this tight bend on the other side. It cracked a bit. I had to put some glue on it. So what I did, I bent it beforehand a little bit, but it's not that tight. And then I'm gonna use my dry brush brush. Yeah, was thinking about how to call it. Wet it a little bit inside out, and then sort of push it from the outside a bit. Slowly. It doesn't, but not for too long, because you see it starts smoking. I don't want it to burn. So and just rotate it around the corner. I think that's decent, and then I can glue it in. It did crack as well. There's a white spot, you see, a little bit, but hey, so much you can do. So I'm gonna do that, put a bit of paint on it. It's gonna be alright. So I think that's a good compromise. The other one look even better, but there's a major crack. These ones, once I glue it in, should be pretty much the same, hopefully. So yeah, here it is. That's the one I did before with a tiny little crack, and that's the one I did now, which probably is a little bit better looking. So we carry on like this. So I got to the point that I bend the front first and see if I need to sort of make the edge a little bit straighter, and then after that I bend the back, and once I've done both of them, I've removed any extra bits. I just color the side as well with a black marker, so there's gonna be no gaps visible in between the planks, and then I glue them on. It's coming out to treat. And here it is. I put 6 planks on each side. It looks alright. Of course there's gonna be some gaps. The problem at the end the first planks weren't long enough, and then I sort of had to leave a little bit of gaps, but I'm gonna put some wood filler in it and make it smooth. But yeah, overall I'm very happy with this wood bender. Top job, top item, absolutely recommend it. The more I get towards the bottom, the more I need to curve it and cut it at the end. So I'm gonna do, normally I bend the top part, then when I adjust the section of the top with a tiny bit of slant to fit in it, I'll see how long it is, and then I start bending the back, and then on the back I trim the excess. So as you see now, this is gonna be a tiny bit longer, so I'm gonna cut off another maybe 0.5 millimeter or something, and then glue it in, and then do another couple of layers down there, then starting doing the bottom bits down here, and then adjust the ones in the middle there. So seems like it's going quite good so far. Of course there's gaps, but I just received today some wood filler. I'm gonna mix it with black paint and put it in, so hopefully it's gonna work. So change of plan once again. Instead of doing another 2 lines down here, I'm gonna take advantage of the support at the front here and lay down this main bottom line. I made a curve in a way that sort of shapes it like that, and then build it in and towards the other ribs. So I'm gonna glue it in and work on it, because on this side I have the contour of the hole. I'm gonna follow the line, so I bent the wood on that position. On this other side I haven't got the contour, so I bent another piece of wood exactly in the same shape, so I can then be fairly sure they're symmetric on both sides, and then I will build up on top of them. And now for number 2, I made it start at the same at the front, and then follow through, and then slowly go in towards the keel in there to start following all the ribs, and then hopefully it's gonna be nice and smooth. Of course there's gonna be some little gap in here, but it's gonna be black filler in there as well, but at least it's gonna be nice organized without hopefully without taking, you know, I've seen people taking measurements and differences, and I'm sure it's essential on a bigger boat, but first of all, this is so small that you're gonna get mad. Second, is my first time, so I'm trying to do the way that makes sense to me. So it makes sense to have the full beam at the front, because that's the impact of the water. Where the water is stronger, you need a larger beam, and then smaller ones at the end, and then just slide them in. So at them speed you won't have any cavitation or nothing, so even if there's a little bit of a gap, some filler, and we see I'm gonna need to put filler in here as well anyway. Plus, if you notice, this side is not the last two beams are not symmetric with the other side, because this one came out larger, this came out smaller, but hopefully I can fill it in and make it similar. I tried to detach it and put it back on, but I was at risk of breaking it. I said, well, let's leave it there and smoothing it up at the end. So I'm going to do the second line over here, possibly a third one, and then we take it from there. And now I put 4 either side. I'm going to take a break before I get cross-eyed, but yeah, I'm very happy with the result. Very, very happy. Of course, some purist is gonna be like, oh, you should do like that, you should do like that, it should be flush or whatever. Oh man, first try, it's not gonna sink, is it? Think about it. The more I go up on the side of the boat with this planking, the more the last one is gonna be squint. But I'd rather follow these ones here, and then the last one I just cut it and put it under this one. It should work. Looks good, looks decent enough, so see what happens. I got to the point where we only need to do a very light bending of the wood, so I did a tiny bit at the front, but to reach down here, just wet brush, make it wet again, just so it releases a tiny bit of steam inside the wood, and then gently pull it through like that. Doesn't need to be too bent, and we got a very nice curve. So let's see how we can fit this perfectly shaped piece of wood in there. I already put some glue, jelly super glue on the space is supposed to go in, and we just use the jam it in. I should go like a beauty. And the last ago, a little bit of a gap here. There wasn't a gap 2 seconds ago when I tried it. Oh, there it is. Perfect. So that's it. That's just a closer look. Are we done there? Fits perfect, and the front as well. And now I'm gonna do the same for the next one, and it's gonna be just a tiny adjustment for the last one. Cool. And just if you're wondering how I shaped the wood earlier, I firstly cut to shape this one at the front to fit to the front, and then run it all along towards the back, and then I cut this one and a little bit longer, like 0.5 millimeter, and then I sand it till it fits perfectly. It is a bit of work, but it's better than these planks are too small to do drawings on them or markings. So I just I'll do it by hand, little adjustments. And the last one is literally a sliver. I'm gonna just push it in. It's been glued in already. I'm just gonna force it in. Oh, it's in there perfectly. And that's it. Finally, all the planking is done. Now I just need to fill the tiny little gaps and smoothen up the back here. But yeah, first time I do it, I'm very, very, very happy about it. Absolutely stunning. To fill the gaps on the hull, I made a mix of the wood filler and some black primer. I put about like a half a box of this one and half a cup of wood filler and 10 drops of black primer. I think I'm going to put another couple of drops on the tiny bit darker. Doesn't really matter because I'm going to paint on top of it probably, but when I sand it, I wanted to be able to see the wood underneath and have a nice black color as well. Also, I don't want it to be too liquid because probably too liquid is gonna stain my fingers first of all forever, and it will take forever to dry. So we try and mix like this, nice and dark, like a dark gray anthracite color, and that should be right. I also quite pliable. I mean, it's like a toothpaste consistency, so it should be easy to put and easy to remove, and then as long as it doesn't crack when it dries up. But I'm gonna put in the dehydrator to speed up the drying, and then if there's any gaps after, I'm gonna do a second fill. So let's see how this gunk applies there. Fills gaps. It looks like it could work, or at least we can work with it. So yeah, I'm gonna do that. And then smoothen it by hand, and then maybe use a wet sponge to fill it up properly. I filled all the gaps in there, especially at the back, a little tiny bit at the front as well, just to make it look a little bit more smooth. And I'm gonna put it in the dehydrator, and then probably I'm gonna need to just fill in a little bit more here. I didn't want to put too much to avoid shrinking during drying up and taking too long to dry. So hopefully it's gonna work a beauty. So I filled up a little bit more the bottom here, just because all this below the waterline is supposed to be covered in copper planking. So I'm gonna use this line here as a waterline. Anything below I'm gonna paint in copper color. So I need to make it smooth now. Some sanding paper, sanding sponges, how they call it, sanding sticks. Let's start with a big one, 180. Probably it's even a bit too much. 180. Yeah, probably we can skip to a smaller one already. But yeah, it doesn't really need much sanding. It's more for the smoothness of the paint than anything else. But it's quite smooth as it is already, I have to say. So yeah, let's do a tiny bit. Yeah, just a tiny bit of sanding. If you do too much, the wood sticks out anyway. Plus I don't want it to be flush. I want to still show the shapes of the different planks underneath at the back. I don't know how accurate is it, while it just makes you feel more handmade instead of covered in plaster. So happy with it. I'm gonna put some nice black primer on all the hull anyway. Well, as usual, change of plan. I try to sand on both sides to make it pretty much the same, symmetric, because this one, as you remember, this one was coming out a bit bigger, and now it seems to me that's more symmetric. What I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna just fill in these tiny little gaps. I still have a tiny bit of the wood filler left, make it more uniform like on this side, and then put it to dry again. So I'm gonna use a slightly damp sponge just to clean it up, and then apply a little bit wood filler, just these little steps here. After it should look a bit more symmetric, I guess. Doesn't mean much anyway. Really happy with it. I'm just being a perfectionist, as you should. Well, while that one is drying the dehydrator, let's do something different. What I want to do, I want to put a tiny layer of see-through plastic through this bit. So I was thinking about putting a plastic sheet at the back, but then maybe I want to give it a blue tinge, a little bit sort of blue color. So I bought this UV resin, which I'm gonna try and mix with some food color dye, like light blue, and then pour in between these little holes and dry it up. It will never work, but you have to try. I have really no idea what I'm doing, not even how much I need, what proportions. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to put some of this in there, and then add this airbrush food coloring. I'm using this instead of acrylic just because it's more see-through. Hopefully it's gonna come up smoother. Oh, brand new. Wow, this is gonna be interesting or completely messy, one or the other. Can we manage to open it? I don't want to rip it just because it might be easier to seal it up afterwards. I'm gonna do a little hole in there, should be enough. I have no idea, maybe I need to check it. So try and error. Let's see, let's put some in there. There should be plenty to do. An entire window. Let's put the cap back on this. So I'm gonna use, let's start with one drop of this and see what result we get. Doesn't look like it's gonna mix at any point in any way. Well, we'll see. Yeah, probably you need to get its own sort of coloring. Well, maybe if I keep on mixing it. Maybe we get away with it. Actually, it's not too bad. Maybe even another drop, since it's gonna be so thin. So that's 2 drops on the food stuff, but that wasn't a drop, it was a bubble that exploded. So that's a drop. That is a drop. Area that we're looking at, that probably won't even affect it. Okay, tiny bit of tiny blue in there. So I think the best option would be to have some cling film at the bottom and put it at the top. So if you go some cling film, shall we do like this flat and this as like that, or the other way around? Probably I want to just because it's gonna drip on the other side. I know that. Ah, why is it bent backwards? It should be bent the other way around. Oh, broke it. I don't want to break it. I'll tell you what, why don't I do a layer in there then, and then wrap this on top? That could work. That could work. So if I do sort of something like that, nice blue tinge, might as well use all of it. Probably in 5 years time everyone is going to be looking at this video and say, oh, the man is a genius, look what came up with. Or maybe someone else has done it before and they didn't know about it, and oh, the man is an idiot, he's doing the wrong way, has already been solved by such and such from such website. Yeah, this would have been better to have a stronger surface. We need to spread it more on the side here, more on the side here. It's not even uniform, but yeah, looks like we got it looks like we got what we need. Am I inside the camera? No, of course not. Bit more here. I can smell it. Definitely can smell it. I don't know if it's a good thing or not. But yeah. So if this is flat, it's gonna sit on it like that. This is gonna sit on it like that. Or yeah, putting over, putting it and pushing it too hard in. So don't squeeze it in. Just lay on it and wait for it to sort of okay, tiny bit of a wiggle, just making sure we got stuff in the windows. This is a bit too much, I'm gonna wipe it off. This tiny bit here, I need to wipe it off in a way that doesn't get yeah, probably like that. It should work. Why shouldn't it work? It should work. I got this, it's like a bean, you know, that condom filling stickiness. Well, anyway, light, let there be light. So the plan with this, that's LED light, they're supposed to be on top, which is gonna cover pretty much perfectly the area we're looking at. If we do like that, well, look at that, not even if it did on purpose, it fits beautifully. Even tiny bit closer, just to make sure. It's gonna be so drunk. Everything's gonna catch fire probably. So connect the USB to the USB power outlet, which is this one here, and the light is on. And then we're gonna leave it like that for a few days. But hopefully, what do I say? Curing time, blue-green specification. Oh, that's the plastic I should have used. Well, next time I know. That's the plastic. Oh, you only learn by doing. Yeah, I bought this months ago. Didn't even remember it was in the box. But yeah, it comes with a layer of silicone stuff that could use at the bottom. That's fine. That's fine. You learn by mistakes. Hopefully that's gonna be nice down there. We'll see. I'm already see the thing sipping through. Probably it's gonna be. It's gonna be a mess. But hey, you have to try. So I'll leave it at that. I'll come back later on. Well, it's been exactly 20 minutes, and touching on the side seems to me that down here is solidified. It's a sort of a crystal, like a Breaking Bad crystal, blue crystal. It's a bit gummy here, but because there was no curing light on this side, so I'm sure I can just remove it. Still a bit oily at the back. I don't know if that's for the surface or because it didn't cure under the wood. So I'm gonna turn it around. Upsetting to see there's no stuff inside these windows here. They look quite empty. Disappointment. Could have been much better. Well, this one here looks more like yeah. Yeah. So it's got, there's possibilities for this system. I just need to do it better next time. So let's put the light at the back anyway. I'll throw away whatever was left out. So just to dry the back and come back in a little bit to pick up the pieces. And my fingers are just so oily. It's like a lube o'clock. I've been doing some cooking and all my food smells of plastic, of course. So if I die in the next couple of days, the plastic surgeon has died of plastic poisoning. Probably this came up a little bit shinier than I wanted, but at least it's uniform across the sides. So that's what's gonna be on the back. So that's what you want. You want the back like that, put it on and do it. And if you wanna see through it, that's what it looks like. To see through it. Where's the other bit? And the boat is back out once more from the dehydrator. The last adjustments are done, so I'm gonna just give it a quick sand, and then we're gonna put some primer on it. I think we reached the best detail I can get for the sanding. So quick clean the wet sponge, and then gonna put the primer on. Quite straightforward really. I mean, just a bit of a black primer, maybe dilute it a little bit with just some distilled water, maybe half and half, maybe it's even too much. I could have put it by airbrush, but I don't want to put on the airbrush stuff for just for this. So yeah, all painted. Happy to report there no paint seeped through the masking tape, at least on that side. I see on this side, yeah, good, because I was making sure that I was using a wettest bit there and just doing the contours with a slightly damp brush. So that's good, it's good. Maybe a tiny bit here, but not a big deal, not a big deal, because that's where it's gonna be some dirt and grit anyway, so it's okay. Now for the copper lining underneath, I follow the natural line of the wood, just because it makes sense. It's gonna be all underwater anyway, so and then instead of using the copper color that I have from the airbrush color, I don't want to waste it, I'm gonna mix some gold leaf and red, probably 4 of this one to 1 of this one, and it should give me some copper color, I hope. Let's see if it works. So let's get some of the red first of all. I think we got more than enough. 2 splashes. Get rid of this. Let's see if we got enough in there. Some Tamiya thinner. Let's do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 dots. Look at that. Maybe even can it be too much red? Yeah. Just that 1 drop of that gold and we'll be gold. Yeah, I think we got it. Let's mix in all the colors we got. Don't leave any uneven splashes. Tiny bit more of thinner, just because. Put the lid back on this one. Yeah, yeah, we're gold. We are gold. Perfect. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Who's Michelangelo? No one. Well, I'll save you this. I'm gonna just paint it. Well, that seems absolutely perfect to me. So maybe I'll do a second coat that's a little bit darker in some bits. But I'm gonna put it to dry. See what comes once it's been dried properly. So I did 2 passes of paint. I'm quite happy with the result after 2 layers. So it's time to remove the masking tape. I see what we got underneath. Hopefully it's not too messy. Okay, so a little bit of seepage. We don't like seepage. It's just minor anyway. I mean, if I was to look at it, I wouldn't even see it. Yeah, no, it cannot be fixed with some little bit of black on top. I should start from this side, so it's gonna peel off all the rest. And same goes from this side here. Okay, nothing. Little bit as expected on the bends, but nothing that cannot be fixed with a quick brush of black. Yes, right. So one little dot here, one little dot here, a little bit at the front here, little smudges here. But yeah, overall, I'm happy. So I'm gonna do, I'm gonna touch the black bits and then put some that'll be a clear coat on it just to protect it a bit more than clear coat. Quick shine. So I built 16 cannons with big wheels at the front, small wheels at the back, and managed not to lose a single wheel. I'm so happy with it. But then I wasted time cutting back these things here because the plastic was quite hard to cut. The blue plastic and melt on it, and I didn't want to break the wood, so then I fought it a little bit, but it still looks alright. But as a first try, it should be alright. I've put a little plank of woods under the captain's cabin, and now I'm gonna fill the gaps with the wood filler. I'm gonna make it a little bit yellow this time, just a bit on this color here, and then I'm gonna paint on top black on the top bit here. So for the wood filler, I'm gonna use the same white wood filler, possibly a third of the cup. Then I'm gonna put a drop of medium yellow and a drop of middle stone gate. Hopefully it's gonna get some wood. I know it looks a little bit messy now, but after it dries up in the dehydrator, I'm gonna sand it down, get the wooden planks stick out again, and then paint the top bit in black. Also the yellow It's a bit paler. I'm gonna paint it on top. At the end I used 10 drops of yellow and 6 drops of midstone. The yellow I was using wasn't really perfect. I just remembered that I was using the yellow ochre for this yellow here, so I painted it and then I masked it, and then hopefully now it's gonna come off nice. Hopefully, you never know till the moment when you peel it off, but hey, quite confident. Yeah, looks alright. See if there's any sipping through the paint. Yeah, a little bit here. I'm gonna just touch it by hand. It's gonna be alright. A little bit here, but yeah, nothing tragic. Yeah, looks alright. The tricky bit is gonna be to write victory in here. And now I'm gonna just put some floor polish on this back bit just to make it a bit more sturdy, so I can start writing victory freehand over there, and maybe it's easy to do any correction. So I'm gonna go the floor polish all the way up to the black line here and just leave the other uncovered, so I got more grip for when I eventually I stick on the different portholes or hublots or windows as you call it in Microsoft. Started putting all the portholes, and there's 106 positions available, and there were 110 portholes, but of course when you cut them they die, and you see I'm missing 4, so on 110 I managed to place only 102, and then I have all these little bits left over that I need to sort of fill out. So the mortality rate is about 10%. These are so fiddly, but yeah, I could have put some more. The put only 4 extra ones, but you're gonna break them. Also, when you're fixing them, it's easier to put them together right on the sprue. If they're still there, it's easy to move. Now I need to do somersaults and trying to I left these 2 out because the curved anyway, they would have broken, like this one sort of cracked over here, and then these ones just try to make my way around it. So I managed to fix them on the spot, and other 2 I built some straight on the cover, so it should work. The good news about the portholes covers is that they don't break when you cut them, but it's only 80 of them. I need to cover 106 holes with it, so I'm gonna leave the ones with the cannon without the cover, even if I went through all the effort to put in the handles at the end and everything, and then leave some empty. Let's just so what I did on this side, I did these ones, the back, the front, leaving the middle ones open for eventual cannons and some empty ones. I'm gonna do this exact mirror on the other side, exactly the same, but it would have been nice to have 20 more, well 25 more. Oh. So as a recap, both sides are symmetric. I put one cannon here, 1, 2, 3, 4, this one under the stairs, and then 3 at the top. This one a little bit sideways because there were no stairs to go to the poop deck, so I had the spare grill, ventilation grill over here. Put a grill on this side, and then I put a stair on that side, but then this cannon goes a tiny bit sideways, but I'm quite happy with it. From the outside it looks quite balanced. And also I had 2 spare covers. They are left open here just to show how it would have been with the covers open. They are likely to fall off. I found them the position that possibly is the most sheltered from being touched and fall off. So, and then you can see even the handle at the bottom. So that should work out. Now what I need to do, I need to complete the part at the front, put the anchors and the attachment for all the rigging, and then we can go forward with painting everything before putting the masts. I wasn't too happy with the back of the ship looking yellow, so I made it black with some black marker, and then I free-handed this sort of pattern following the etching underneath. I also tried to freehand writing Victory. Looks horrible, but I don't know, maybe I get a plaque or something to put on it. And since I was there, I even did the front, which looks a tiny bit better with a bit of gold, golden toilets. So there it is. I'm gonna put some clear coat on it. Well, after I built all the crow's nest supports, I started preparing the poles for the masts. I realized some of them I need to whittle them down, like from 6 to 4, and to do that I want to do a nice job. So what I did, I bought myself a latte. Bought myself a lathe, brand new, just arrived, and that's only for wood. Wood lathe, extendable, and I can put the things in there, and it stays bent. It's not supposed to be bent, hopefully. No, just off. Yeah, I just need to put it straight in. I was thinking actually to extend it, if I find something of this profile, if I find something longer with the same profile, I can just use it on a longer extension. But yeah, it comes with this, and there's a space for a rotary saw if I ever had one. This one I need to turn it down a bit. There's the power unit with different speeds up to 8,000 RPM, and then of course electricity cable, instructions, and also some chisels, 6 pieces wood carving set. All this for £19, £18 something on Amazon. So hopefully it works. Let's connect the plug and let's see if at least this thing rotates. There's a little set of tools that came with it, and there's a few Allen keys in there, different sizes, and screw bits to put the wood in, and a wrench for the thingy. I don't know the technical term, but that should be fun. So I removed this part here, so it gives me more extension, how much space I can use in there, which is more than enough. I mean, this is the pieces I'm gonna use, this length. I think this it's going to be 18 centimeters is more than enough. If not, I try to find something with the same profile. But yeah, that's a speed selector here. Very simple. Is a lever with the indicator. There's a switch on this side, and I read some reviews. They were complaining it was too noisy. It doesn't seem too noisy to me. Even if you go up in speed, yeah, vibration if you go to the top speed, but I'll never go to the top anyway. So yeah, very happy with it. Very happy with it. And in the instructions it shows, apart from the whatever I got here, the basic stuff, you can get extra bits like the saw, as we said earlier, to slot in this little hole here. It's supposed to be a 5 centimeters so diameter, which makes sense. Some polishing pad and some other attachments, but at the moment all I need is just do by hand to whittle down the sticks of wood for the masts. Well, this one here, for example, is supposed to be the gaff, the shorter bit of the gaff that goes inside here. So that starts at 5 millimeters down to 4. So this side is 5. I'm gonna whittle this down to 4, so half a millimeter each side, and for a length of about 33, which on 71 is a bit less than half. So I would say all the way down here. I'm gonna just make it up as I go. I'll just to try. I mean, it's so dusty. It's gonna make a lot of dust, and probably I'm gonna use like a tent. I have an enclosure, like a spraying booth of one of them collapsible, like a camping tent. I'm gonna use that, but now just to test it, I'm gonna do without nothing and see how much dust I make. Let's have a look. Yeah, probably this should be on the other side so I can rest on it, and or it should be like here, and then I'll just do it that way. But I'd rather avoid splinters coming towards me while I still don't know how to use it, so let's do it this way. Probably shaved off. It's not warm, it didn't heat up. This is not hot. This is not hot. So far so good. But let's say if we whittle down anything. No, it's just below 5. 5.65. 5.65. I mean 4.65. So still a little bit to go, but a bit of patience. Don't want to run it too fast because I don't want to overheat it. Don't want to break the piece, just slowly. And so far it's not too much dust, but also haven't taken off too much really. So I'm gonna try a little bit more. I'll show you at the end. And that's the final product. It was supposed to be 3.3 centimeters here, which I did. And it goes down to 4 millimeters, which I did from 5 to 4. I'm happy. It needs to be like that because there's a base here, another base at the top. So I'm happy with it. It makes a little bit of dust, so I'll try it here. Night time as well, make a bit of noise. So I'm gonna put it away and then start again daytime and do the other ones. Since I'm here, since this one is on, I'll just give it a little polish with sandpaper just to make it smooth. For the masts, I realize only now that I should have built these supports on, it's right on here because they would have been straight up probably. Actually they're supposed to be like that, and well, they go underneath anyway. The funny thing is that I've, for the, let's say these are from the front, 1, 2 being this one the main mast, and 3 the one at the back. I had the support for these 2, but didn't have the beams to make a support for this one, so I'm gonna make it by hand. And also when I will go to build the masts, I have all the middle, this one here, the supports for the, for example this one here is going to be 1, 2 and 3 for a measure of 3 and 4 millimeters, and then I have 3 2 and 2.5 millimeters is going to be 1, 2 and 3, but then I don't have one for this one, and this one is supposed 3 and 3. I haven't got any 3 and 3. I've got one, probably 1.5, 1 and less than 1, or 1, 1.5 and 2, but it's not, I'm not gonna need it. So for that I'm gonna probably build a new one or enlarge this one, so I don't see any that needs 3 holes. So I got this on the 4.3, this on the 2.5, and this one 3.3. I'm gonna adapt that or make a new one. So I need to make a new one for that, and the support for this one. I cancelled the rummaging. I managed to find the support for the crow's nest for the main mast, so I'm gonna build it on straight under the base. And this is proof that I should have built the support under the board straight away from the start. This one is the one I built now, is more straight. This one is completely off because I had to avoid the holes, but that sticks out a little bit. And this one is a bit smaller, you notice it less, but still a little bit squint. And once they are upside down, possibly you won't notice it too much, hopefully, but that's something to learn for the next time. As I say many times, this is the first time I do a wooden ship. I mean, I did a bounty like 30 years ago, but it was much less complicated than this one. It was the hull completely made already, so literally 2 days job. This one is much more complicated, but it gives you much more satisfaction. I realized that once I go to this point, putting all the masts and the rigging is gonna take forever. So I'm gonna end this video here and do another video later on when the rigging is finished, with some stills in between showing how I did the rigging. So one last look at this masterpiece. I love it. The only thing, yeah, maybe I can sort out this writing at the back, maybe buy a plaque or something. And thank you for watching, and stay tuned for the future updates on the rigging.